Arsenal versus Everton. Here we go again, back in the Premier League, and this one is a must-win. Last time we played against Bayer Leverkusen, we got a draw. We scraped a draw, and to me, I'm not sure we really deserved a draw in that game. Uh, but we got a draw, and that's really an advantage Arsenal, and we can cope with a draw in Germany. But this game, there cannot be a draw. We need the 3 points. We need these 3 points so that we can remain at the top and remain that distance to get to 70 before anyone else. Now, I'll say this much about Everton. Everton's a decent side. They're currently 8th in the Premier League, and you don't become even the top half of the Premier League by being mugs. And Everton, evidently, they are no mugs. So please, Arsenal, I beg you take this game seriously. I beg you get the 3 points out of this, and we can just move on. We do still have a lot of difficult games left. I think in the next 4 games or so, and our next 4 games can be really telling of our Premier League title race. If we go 12 for 12, then we could very well be in a position where we've already won the league. It's unlikely, but it's mathematically possible. Now, as I say, we're 12 for 12. If we do go 12 for 12, I do expect us to win the Premier League. But before then, I'm saying nothing. These next 4 games will be so vital, so unbelievably vital to this. The whole season could depend on these 4 games right here. But it also depends very heavily on what the likes of Man City does as well. Man City don't have it easy either because they've got to play Chelsea and then they've got to play us. And let's be honest, Chelsea, they are a decent team. You have to give them their credit. They're a decent team. They pushed PSG. Granted, they lost by a 3-goal deficit. Yeah, but those 3 goals came in very late in the game. So, it's fair to say that Chelsea really did give a game against PSG, even if you don't want to say so. And hopefully, Chelsea can actually do us a massive favour by taking 3 points away from Man City. I'll take 2, of course, but I'm happy with the 3. But of course, the other team that we have to rely on right now, as of this moment, is West Ham. Yeah, I don't see anything coming out of that, but you never know. That 3-0 loss against Real Madrid, that could sway the kind of favour towards West Ham, or it could motivate Man City to absolutely annihilate West Ham and get back on track. But if Man City drop any points against West Ham, they're in serious trouble. I don't think they're in massive trouble as things stand yet, but if we win against Everton and Man City somehow drop points against West Ham, that's when you start to sit there and think Arsenal's probably going to win it now. However, last 3 or so seasons, I've kind of expected us to fall short, and it's been happening so often, and the cracks had shown this season, and this team definitely knows how to put me on edge, I'll say that much. They definitely know how to make me question my faith on some occasions, and hopefully these next 4 games will confirm that we're probably going to win the title. But if we play anything like we did against Bayer Leverkusen, if we play anything like that, then I don't see us getting anything against Everton. That game was absolutely disgraceful. I couldn't believe my eyes. I couldn't believe what I was seeing. But if we play better than that, if we play a proper game of football, if we play with a bit of freedom and we get the ball in the box and we look dangerous, that's when we can get a bit excited. There's a cat shouting outside. But we've got to be dangerous in this because Everton, they ain't going to sit around for us. They're good enough to beat us. They can get results against us. But we've got to be ready for that. And again, as I say, I think Everton, I think they'd be comfortable with a draw, if I'm honest. I think Everton, if they start to feel they're not going to get 3 points out of the game, I think they're going to be very comfortable putting in a mid to low block and just trying to prevent us from scoring. And if we haven't scored early on in the game, I think that's what they will resort to. And Jordan Pickford, he is a good goalkeeper. He absolutely is a good goalkeeper. He could save quite a bit. We have to really put something past him in order to get a goal. But as I say, we've got to get this done. And I beg. This is the most critical part about what might happen today. I beg us to just go at them, to have a go, to stop getting in good positions and then slowing down. If you've got the ball, you got the space, run with it, please. What I saw against Bayer Leverkusen was the most anti-counter-attack football I've seen in a long while. And I do believe genuinely that this tactic is completely anti-counter-attack. It's all about control and it's all about being too afraid to lose the ball. And I can understand that if you're like a good 3-0 up or even 2-0 up. I can understand you wanting to just control the game to calm things down. But that game wasn't the time to do it. In that game, we should have gone for them. We should have went for it. We should have at least tried to stick the ball at the back of the net. We should have tried to catch them as they're running back and chasing us. But we didn't do that. We let them get into the box. We let them get back into defensive positions. And in the end, those missed opportunities, I pray they do not haunt us. Because that is really how we've been dropping points. If we really played to actually counter-attack, to learn how to counter-attack, to take advantage of space, I think we would have been in a much more comfortable position at this point. But anyways, let's get in now to the starting lineup. And starting in goal, I'm going to say David Raya. Obvious choice, I don't need to explain that one. In the centre-backs, I'm going to say... I nearly said Yuri Timber for some reason. I'm going to say Gabriel and Saliba. And again, I don't think I need to explain that. They're the best centre-back pairing in the Premier League. On the right wing, I'm going to say Yuri Timber. He had a poor game going forward the other day against Leverkusen. Hopefully, he can do better this game. And in the left back, I've gone with Pierre Nkapie. Pierre Nkapie is just... he's undroppable right now. Genuinely. In the midfield, I'm going to start us off with Declan Rice. And again, I think he's our best midfielder. He's a box-to-box and he'll run up and down the pitch for you. But I still think he's that leader that we need. So either give the captaincy to Gabriel or give it to Rice. Do not give it to Saka. Saka is just not a leader. We played so much better when he was off the pitch last game. And I do believe that just comes down to who the captain was. Alongside him in the central defensive midfield, I'm going to go with Zubimendi. And Zubimendi had a bit of an up and down game the other day. He's got a bit to prove to himself. In the attacking midfield, I'm going to start us off actually with Kai Havertz. I think Kai Havertz in that attack midfield position could really pull something off for us. To the left of him, I think Trossard's still injured, so I'm going to have to go with Martinelli. And I keep saying with Martinelli, you've got a bit to prove right now. And to the right of him, I don't know if I want to play Saka or Madueke, but I think we play Madueke just for the fact that he played less overall minutes. I like how direct football he is as well, and this isn't me trying to chastise Bukayo Saka, but it is me kind of saying I think we need that directness now. We need to play direct, we need to get the results. And of course, up front, I've gone with Victor Gyökeres, and hopefully, with this midfield that we've put in place, especially with Kai Havertz there, hopefully Kai Havertz can find Victor Gyökeres more. And look, Gyökeres does the runs. You can see the runs that he makes. And I do think he would be considered such a better player if we just played to his advantages. If we put the ball at his feet more often, gave him more one-on-one opportunities. Because at this point, you can't blame Gyökeres still. If Gyökeres was missing great opportunities consistently, fine, we will blame him. But he's not getting those opportunities, and that's what's costing. But with Kai Havertz, I feel Kai Havertz can still get the ball in for him. But anyways, that is my match preview for Arsenal versus Everton. Let me know what you think down below. Like, share, and comment, and please do subscribe. It really does help out the channel. And I will see you for the match review of Arsenal versus Everton. Goodbye for now.